something that I've tried to think about a lot in recent months, like just the concept of, okay, you going out and doing a heinously horrendous set.
Yeah.
Like, there's risk involved.
I don't know if I said that.
This is like a true, like a fever dream.
This is an honor.
It's so
for me to have you here.
bananas to be here. Thank you.
I can't believe you agreed to do this.
I felt very charitable today.
Yeah. This is dangerous because I'm going to be hard on you.
Please,
This is going to be really tough.
Do not take it easy. Yeah.
I have immediately something really exciting to tell you that I don't think you even know.
I'm like truly sweating. Like,
I have to ask you. Well, no. What order do I want to? How old are you?
I'm 26.
You're 26.
Yeah.
So different years, but I have to tell you, we were born on the same day. I know. Can you believe? January 24th.
How
boys.
did I not know that?
I didn't either until I literally read the research for this episode.
That is fantastic.
January 24th.
Nice research. That actually is like, that's my favorite kind of research.
Same birthday.
That's fucking huge.
Can you believe?
That's amazing. That makes me so happy.
3 years apart.
That's okay.
You feel wiser than me. I do think you're.
Oh, I will immediately tell you that is not true. I can make that known immediately.
You have a very wise vibe about you.
Thank you.
You have a very kind of it's not stateliness. That is certainly not the right word. You just have a very I think you've been here before.
Over the years of my relationship with substances, I think that I've become really somewhat subdued, and I think that really lends itself to coming off as wise sometimes.
Yeah, that's interesting. You think it's the substances?
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the long-term effects of the decisions of my youth. Yeah.
I just think you're really grounded and really smart.
That's very sweet.
And that's what I think.
Same to you.
Every once in a while, I love our friendship, which is semi-new in the world of friendships.
True.
But I love that every once in a while I can get you to come to my house for 15 or 20 minutes.
It's been honestly the highlight of my the collective 45 minutes I've been at your home in the year that I've been in LA.
Yeah.
Highlight.
I'll throw a big party and I'll say, Briston, please come. I want to see you. And then you'll come for 15 or 20 minutes.
It's because I'm terrified of the world. I get to see you and you're like a social butterfly, like killing it. And then I'm like lingering in the corner, like looking at what's in the fridge. And then I'm like, I should just go home. Like I'm so scared to be here. You're
when
so
I'm hosting,
good at it.
I'm literally running around and being like, you guys talk. And then I sprint away.
You're like, you're so good at it. Like puppet master, like literally like just setting people up, like making these social, like just like beautiful fireworks happen.
People sometimes love it and people sometimes hate it. But when I'm hosting a party, my big move is to walk up to like, if I see a group of 3 that all knows each other and a group of 2 or 4 that all knows each other, I'll go, you guys meet each other. And then I go, anyone want a drink? And then I run away. And I go continuing to engineer. And some of my friends have been like, we're actually all adults who are really capable of talking to other people. And I go, no worries.
I am like your dream client. Like me being in your home is like truly like the people that you've introduced me to, and just like those moments are like, I live for that shit. Like I cannot operate on my own.
I love it. I think it's so fun to be like, you guys be friends.
Yeah. It like genuinely, like we've met so many sweet people through those moments. And like, yeah, it's been really awesome to have. I did want to say this to you on your podcast. Like, you have been truly like such a light to us. Like, yeah.
Your check is in the mail.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's what I like to hear. I'll use it to move to New York with you. But
for getting that in.
Yeah.
No, y'all are the best. You and Sam. I'm so excited that I met you guys like at your going away party in Nashville.
I know. I like honestly that interaction like still burns my brain. I feel like I was so weird to you that night because I genuinely like that is a laying in bed crosses my mind thing sometimes how weird I was.
I was
like
in Nashville for something. I don't even remember what.
Maybe something with Annie.
Definitely something with Annie. That's my girl.
Yeah, she's my favorite.
And
person.
she was like, "Yeah, you got to come." And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm a huge fan of them. I would love to come to their going away party. How fun!"
Yeah.
I love your music.
Oh, thank you.
I have to say, I'm a fan.
Thank you.
I'm really deep in there.
I'm honored.
I'm really listening all the time.
Thank you. The liner notes. You're on
the
Genius.
I'm checking song credits. I'm saying who wrote on this? Who produced?
Was that you who explained the lyrics of every song on the last record on Genius?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I was happy to do that.
You did a great job.
Yeah, it cost me a lot of money though.
Sure.
I took off work. I canceled gigs.
And I charged you.
Yeah, you did charge me for that.
I've Venmo'd you. I requested $1,000
You're
for
a
your
very
time.
ungenerous person. Yeah.
I try. Charity is something I do not fuck with.
No, it's not you. You don't have that within you.
Thumbs down.
Yeah,
Super
fuck
thumbs
charity.
down. I'm not interested in
I've
that.
always said that. I will not do for others.
I like vanity and I like hatred.
I'm a big hatred guy. I'm a big what's good for me and also forget about others.
How can I benefit from something while other people don't?
Yeah, specifically because I only enjoy it if I know that other people are not enjoying it. You just did Lollapalooza.
We just did Lollapalooza.
How was it?
It was the hottest day in history, but it was like the best day of my life. It was so fun.
Outdoor music is tough.
It is. It like specifically for the type of anxiety that I have every day, it's like kind of my nightmare. Like not knowing if at any moment something could like completely change the entire day, like weather-wise or like, I don't know. It just increases the number of things that can like blow up in your face.
What specific type of anxiety do you have, do you think?
It's like a pretty common flavor. It's like minute detail anxiety. Like I freak out about the intricacies of like, in like the early 2000s movies where it's like the scene where it's like the camera goes into somebody's brain and it's like going through all of their that's like me, but not in a cool way, not in like a stylistically appealing way.
Like, it doesn't feel like a movie at all, really.
No, more of a just living nightmare. It's been a lovely existence so far for me.
That is so funny. I feel like how do you feel about earnestness as a concept?
I almost asked if I could swear. I can swear, right? I can like say
brother,
fuck.
you can swear on here.
It's cool if I cuss.
Yeah,
right?
you can cuss on here. Curse words are kind of our thing.
I feel like we should totally explore why I asked that question. At some point.
At some point in the world.
I fuck with earnestness.
I think you're an earnest guy.
Thank you. I think like humility is a thing that I've really like analyzed a lot over the past few years of my life. Like it can definitely be like weaponized, and I think where I came from, and like I'm from Tennessee, and like there's kind of just a general pressure for like humility to be a part of your everyday life, and I think people like kind of become addicted to that, and it can be as heinous of a thing as like being overly confident and being an asshole.
Yeah.
So I've like really in the past few years tried to like analyze moments where I'm like, am I trying to be humble so that people like me more or something, you know what I mean? As opposed to being like, well, no, I like generally I want to genuinely have like a grasp on my relationship to art I'm making or things I'm doing that isn't based in like outward validation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that even like make fucking sense?
It absolutely does.
Sense. Okay. Cool.
I think it's a balance between, we all have to do like perception management all the time.
Yeah.
About like, how are people perceiving me and what do I seem like? And like, that is something we're all always thinking about to some extent.
Yeah.
Like, oh, did I seem like a nice person when I said thank you just then, or did it seem fake or whatever? That's all on some level, for some of us much more consciously, which I think is usually anxiety, and some of us much more subconsciously, which is less anxiety. But yeah, we're all doing that. And so like humility can become this thing of like, especially in a place like Tennessee or a place like Missouri, like places that are like pretty white or pretty Christian or pretty just Euro. I think humility can become a weapon, like a thing of like it's more important than anything else. It's more important than being honest, or more important than like you're almost not supposed to like yourself.
Totally.
You know?
Oh, 100%.
And that's crazy to me.
It like fucks you up so much.
Yeah.
Because then you like start questioning your motives internally. If you're like, especially if you're predisposed to any type of anxiety, you start questioning your motives on everything you're doing. And then like genuinely awesome moments in your life become like these weird mirrors where you're like, well, what am I allowed to be happy? Should I hate myself? Should I not hate myself? Like what do I do? Like,
should I hate myself is such a funny question.
Oh, I asked.
What do y'all think? Should I hate myself today?
Oh, yeah. Let's do a poll. Like,
I'm
regularly doing that poll with myself and other people verbally out loud.
It's so funny.
It's true.
Anxiety is a particular. I mean, it's so. Dealing with anxiety is such. I've gotten better about it over the years personally, but it is such a. It's such a killer because a lot of times it manifests, at least for me, in like just doubt and decision paralysis, like how to be or what to say or what to do or what to wear or how to feel about a situation. I can never quite make a decision when I'm feeling super anxious because it's just like this thing that's like beating inside of you being like, well, it could be the wrong thing.
Totally.
That sucks.
I mean, nothing beats it though, like just doing the thing. Like we were kind of talking about that earlier. Like honestly, when you like turning point in my life was when you asked me to do that show in New York. Like I think I told you that night, and maybe it seemed like I was like just being silly, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna die. Like I'm so nervous that I'm going to die right now tonight, and like I was so scared to like just be in an environment like with someone like you who I like look up to, and like I just like had to face that fear and went out and like played a couple songs and like ended up like riffing maybe a little too much.
No, you killed. You killed, and they love the riffs.
But like I don't know, just facing the thing and like getting through 10 minutes of like physically like shaking and like confronting this anxiety that things were gonna go wrong, like really set me free. And like my time in LA has been full of experiences like that. Like
that's so funny because as a cool and successful musician, being on a show of mine, you are like objectively the coolest person within a square mile. Like me and my fans are such humiliating little figures.
Caleb, I talked about I talked about Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah,
I talked
they
about
loved
Dungeons
it.
and I literally described my Baldur's Gate 3 build to an audience of people. It's like a nightmare and a dream come true.
It was great. I do have a tendency of anyone who will go along. Like I did tell you, hey, I think you should fly to New York on a whim and do my show.
Yeah.
And you did it. And I also that's how I got Annie DeRusso.
Oh, amazing.
Hooked into my little world as well. I was like, I think you should fly to New York and do my show.
Y'all were like cosmically meant to be in each other's lives.
Annie is my soulmate. Annie DeRusso, listen, girl, I don't know if you know or not. Annie is really, I met her and I was like, when we first met, it was so rushed. And so we met at like a party at South by years ago. But really, when we started hanging out after that, I was like, oh, this is a person who I'm like truly like meant to be friends with.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like her and the whole squad, Eden and everybody.
Ugh,
just like
the boys.
My family, dude. Yeah, especially like just meeting them in Nashville, which like I have a lot of love for Nashville, but in the last year that I was there, it just really felt like the walls were like caving in intensely. And meeting someone like Annie, who's just like so open-minded and so like just a great reminder that the world is so much bigger than whatever tiny spot you feel like you're in when you feel stuck.
Yeah.
Like such a beautiful presence.
The Nashville crew, everyone doing like, there's so many incredible people doing comedy too, but just making art in Nashville.
Yeah, totally.
Like, all those Eden Levi and Jose and all like all those
out.
fun. Like, I just love everybody that I've met there in the past couple of years. I'm just like, damn, Nashville's starting to feel like. I feel like as I get older, I'm like collecting new homes.
Totally.
Like I'm like not physically. No, just have one of those.
Your portfolio is
but
expanding.
yeah. I feel like I'm almost collecting real estate.
It's kind of like a game of Monopoly.
Yeah, it's fun to me, and I don't mind that other people have zero. I want to have more.
Well, as we discussed, yeah.
I want my happiness at their expense. No, I only have one house, y'all. But I feel like I'm collecting new. Like Nashville, I've been spending more and more time because of Annie and just like other friends I've had there and doing shows and stuff. And I just feel like Chicago was the first place after college when I went there to do comedy that I was like, this is a new home to me. Like I feel very at home in Chicago.
I didn't know you lived there. I didn't
For
know you
3
spent time there.
years.
Really?
For 3 years I lived in Chicago.
Oh my God. That like genuinely makes me nervous because I'm like such a fan of the Chicago comedy world. Like
Chicago comedy, baby.
Goodness gracious. Oh
I love Chicago.
Yeah, it's kind of the best.
It's kind of faded into the background for me as I've been away from it longer because there becomes more and more reason to go other places and less reason to go to Chicago.
Sure.
And not in a spiritual way. There's always a reason to go to Chicago, which is that I love it, but in like the little practical, legitimate way.
Yeah.
But I did. Like the last time I needed to test shows, I went and did like a 3-night run at Zany's Old Town Chicago. Like,
no way. Oh,
Chicago
awesome.
is like always where I end up back when I feel like I need to creatively find something.
Totally.
But yeah, I just keep collecting. Nashville's a place in the last couple of years that I've been like, this feels like a home.
Good for you for like taking those trips and like going to those places. Like it's so important to have places where you can like just restore your soul. Like I was freaking out. Honestly, had a horrendous day yesterday. Just like, you know, the days where you just like get the call from the manager that you're like instantly you're like, oh, this is going to be like a thumbs down situation. Like
Yeah.
it just inevitably when you're doing an artistic based career, like there are just days that are so unpredictable as far as like when you feel great, things could just turn on a dime. So I had one of those like phone calls, and then was just talking to Samia about how bummed I was to be here, and she was like, dude, you should just go back to Nashville for like 4 days and like get your roots back. I don't know, like it can be that simple. It's just really easy to feel like you're drifting when you do a creative thing, like because so much of the appeal of doing this is the variety of like every day is going to be a little bit different. It's up to you, but that can also just put you in this really like detached place, and it's so important to like have a place where you can go and be yourself and like reconnect with why you started doing all this shit. Like
what's going on with you artistically right now? I mean, I know you're touring, but are you working on a new record or?
We just got mixes back on a new EP that I'm
Leak
like,
it to me.
so I straight
Leak
up
it to me as soon as we end this episode.
I on the drive here, like visualize the thing where I'm holding the iPhone to the thing and everyone's going fucking crazy. It's like that's what caffeine does to me. I just visualize playing people my music through a microphone on my iPhone. Yeah, I'll totally send it to you. It's fucking ridiculous. It's like the goofiest, craziest shit I've made in years, and I'm so happy about it.
I'm so exciting.
Yeah.
What's the plan for? When's it gonna come out?
That's like kind of the vibe of why the phone call yesterday was really hard. There's like all this bullshit with our label like going down, so we kind of don't know. But I'm trying to kind of just hold on to the fact that I'm really stoked about the music and letting that steer the ship, and just knowing if it's supposed to get where it's supposed to get, then it will. But
hey, if I'm friends with a couple musicians, and if I know anything about the music industry as an outsider, it's that there's always something going on with the label.
Good Lord.
There's always something going on with these people.
Lord, yeah, they love. Honestly, it's like kind of a dream job, because they're just like, it feels like to someone who doesn't work at a label, working at a label, just like you wake up and you're like, how do I fucking fuck this day up? Like, what can I do? Like, to what extent can I make everything that this like kid that I've promised the world to feel like it's all fucking flipped upside down? It's awesome. It's really great. And that's with all the love in the world. So to my label, please, I only have a couple more records on the deal, please.
We love you guys.
Let's just like, we can get through this together. Like, we just need to talk. It's great. I'm just kidding. I genuinely am so lucky. I do love my label a lot, and I love my people on my label.
No, you've said that a lot. You really do. Yeah, you really appreciate them.
Truly.
I had dinner last night actually with a friend of mine who's head of A&R at a label, and it was interesting that she was talking about like going to shows all the time and how much it does become like work. I'm like, I've always viewed that job as something that I would be really good at and really love.
Sure.
And I'm like, if I had to have a different kind of job than the one I have, like maybe I would like to like work at a record label or something. But I'm like, I do always do this. I do always forget that when you try to turn the thing you love into work, it becomes work.
Totally.
And it makes so much sense to be like, that would burn you out very quickly.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's so crazy. Like we were touching on that earlier, but like the idea of like, I got into all of this, like any creative adjacent thing that like rules my life now. I got into it because I felt like I couldn't explain to the people that I wanted to explain who I was. Like I had no language to tell them who I was. And then I found music, and it felt like that was my chance to be like, oh my God, in this community, in this world where I felt like maybe a little misunderstood, I like finally found my way to explain what I care about. But now I rely on that thing to like keep the lights on, you know what I mean? And it's a really strange combination. And my time in LA honestly has like really shined a light on how, to my detriment, I like put all that pressure on myself to like make music my career. Like, and I've really tried to take a step back and make music from a place of like just true emotion, like, which like is nothing profound. Like that's not a new idea, but like it's crazy how distant I was from like the joy that I felt when I was 14 and I had started playing guitar. Like
this is the thing that everyone who gets really good at a thing and it becomes their career, that I've heard so many people talk about this. I feel a version of it in my own work and creativity, that like the thing even you're saying about like, oh, this isn't profound. It's like the most basic thing. It's like, yeah, that's the problem, is that like you get so far from the fundamentals and the basics of it. Like I remember when I was first in Chicago and I was first doing comedy, like just had moved there fresh out of college, like really like everything was an option to me. I didn't know if I was going to do stand-up or improv or theater or acting or like everything was an option. And I would put up material that was so bad. I would do shows that were like genuinely like criminally bad.
Fuck yeah.
The idea that people paid money to see it made me physically ill.
That's so awesome.
But I was happy to do it. I was like, I can't wait to do a bad show tonight because I'll learn something from it. And now if I do an hour of stand-up and it's an incredible show and I have one bad joke, I feel so much guilt that these people had to see me do a bad thing. And I'm really having kind of a creative crisis recently, honestly, where I'm like, I've gotten so far from creating from the place I did when I started out, which was such a pure place to create from, that now it's all about like, well, if I'm going to spend time on something, it needs to make money because now this is how I pay my bills and I have a mortgage and people depend on me. And like, everything starts to get muddied. The most basic thing of just like, I would like to make something that has an emotion. Yeah. It becomes like so far removed from what I'm doing.
Oh my God.
Do you know what I mean?
100%. 100%.
It is the basic things that I'm like, I would love to get back to making something that has an emotion.
Yeah, totally. I mean, which is like kind of just like it's incongruent with like profiting on something. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense to combine the two things. Like they just genuinely are not. They don't belong in the same category. But something that I've tried to think about a lot in recent months, like just the concept of, okay, you going out and doing a heinously horrendous set. Yeah. Like there's risk involved.
I don't know if I said that.
I
don't know if I've ever had one of those.
You're doing one of the, I don't know, potentially the worst stand-up.
Yeah. So you go out and you do something that makes people suicidal. It's so unfunny.
You harmed your community.
Yeah.
With your early
you
material.
took it so far. Like you go out and you do a set that's like someone's never been on stage before, and then
I can't. This is my nightmare.
No.
You have a hard night. You have an unideal evening.
Yeah.
There's like risk involved when you're young and excited and like new to doing a thing that is like honestly the best part of what we do. And I think the longer you get to do this, the risks become more apparent and the pressure becomes higher. But I think something people like lose touch with a lot that I've really tried to like get myself connected with again is like the risk is what makes these shows exciting. And we have been doing this long enough now that like we have the ability to take those risks and like maybe still fall, but like not fall as hard as we would have when we were 18, experimenting with this stuff for the first time. Like it's so important to like hold on to the, I don't know, just like the hours you've put into this, like it's not nothing. You know what I mean? Like we become refined versions of ourselves over years and years and years of doing this that like doesn't go away. Like I talk with the band about that a lot because we're all so like predisposed to just being so fucking like hateful towards ourselves. Right before we play a show, like we are constantly questioning whether or not we're going to remember the songs that we have played thousands of times, like classic shit like that. And so I don't know, like at a certain point, like it's beyond your cognitive, like you don't have to think about it to go. Like you could totally go do a set where you like tuned out and you could totally like just still, it's in your body and in your soul at this point, like, and holding on to that and allowing that to let you take risks is like everything. Like you can't like, that's what the hard work is for. That's why you go up and do, heinously horrendous.
Yeah. The worst comedy anyone's ever seen. As I do. What's inspiring you lately? Like you just did an EP. What's on your mind? What's making you feel good?
Anything that makes me feel like I'm like 14-year-old me. So just like goofy shit. Like I've always loved comedy, but I'm like a huge kick right now. And like, I don't know, just like literally watching like funny movies. Like I have such a tendency to like, when I'm like watching movies or listening to music or like reading books to like feel like I need to be like really like gaining some gigantic thesis out of all of it. But lately I've just been like, no, I'm watching fucking Scooby-Doo, dude.
Yeah.
I'm watching that live action
I'm
Scooby-Doo.
putting on Scooby-Doo.
And I'm going to love every fucking second of it.
Do you know what I put on like 2 nights ago?
Tell me.
I had to do a bunch of like, it was like, I was like, fuck, there's all this like logistical shit I need to do. Like there's like 5 emails I need to respond to. There's this, that, and the other. And I was so annoyed and really dreading it. And I was like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to order a dinner that I like into the house. I'm going to sit on the couch while I do the laptop stuff. And I'm going to put on the stupidest, most vile thing I can think of to be in the background, which usually is Family Guy. But I can't do Family Guy anymore because I'll stop and watch it. Like I literally love it. Like I literally love Family Guy so much. Oh. And you know what I put on? Dumb and Dumber.
No way.
And it was awesome. It fucking ripped. It's the dumbest movie I've ever seen.
It's so good.
We used to really take like comedy movies too. Used to be like, now they're so ruined by execs. Sorry, I love you guys, but they're so like tightened and all like everything has to have a purpose and a fucking. Dumb and Dumber, dude. Canonically, when he's driving the limo, he causes an explosion that had to kill at least 4 people.
Be gone.
While he's driving her to the airport.
And that's how it should be.
And that was what comedy movies used to be.
Yeah.
And now, no.
No, none of that. I need 2 hours of like complete bullshit. I don't want anything to make sense. Like some of my favorite comedy movies, like it feels like they take place in like 40 different locations over like a 45-minute period of time.
Yeah.
Where like every joke just feels like they were like writing and then took like 6 days off and then we're like, hey, I thought of a funny thing.
Another place they could go. Another stupid thing they could say.
That's the best, dude. Like that's, there's something so sacred about like that style of thing. Like I'm so into that. Same with music. Like I love records that are just like, you just feel like you're hanging out with somebody when you listen to it. Like, yeah, there's so much inspiration in that for me.
One of my favorite genres of music is the funny country song.
Oh, totally.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I'm sure I've talked about it 17 times on this podcast.
Oh.
But I do love that Brad Paisley song that's like, I love her, but I love to fish.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Are you kidding me?
I had the like guitar chord book for that album.
Let's go.
It's still like in my childhood.
Was that the album that had Celebrity on it too?
Yeah, I think so. It's like the red one with him like with the hat.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there's some absolute bangers on that one.
God damn. He was making country music has a uniquely like they're Alex Edelman, a comedian that I'm friends with. He and I have talked a lot about this, like specifically funny country songs. No other type of music has really captured the funny song as well as country has.
Undeniably.
There's some funny rap songs, but like funny country is like they're really getting into it over there.
It like transcends, like everybody is into it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's such a naturally goofy ass, like, that's like, what the hell? Like, I think it's really funny that also is like attributed or like associated with some of the most like badass like artists of all time.
Yeah.
Like Johnny Cash. The shit so cool, but like that shit's goofy, dude. That's why it's cool though. Like I love it because it's like so weird. Like he's such a weirdedo. Like it's amazing. Like so just like uniquely himself. Like
and a character.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, cartoon.
Like the way that artists in general. I mean, I love an artist who takes on like a persona.
Yeah.
That's why I think drag queens are so cool.
Yeah.
But Johnny Cash being like the man in black is like it's like that's so silly. Like that's like, literally silly.
It makes me want to go like, oh
yeah. Like, it's like okay, buddy.
Look at you.
Sure you are.
And get out there and do your thing.
Yeah. Go play that guitar. It's so silly to take on a persona in like a fun way.
100%. Those are like my favorite people. Like the people I look up to the most are just like primarily artists who like earnestly, I'd come back to earnesty, like people who just like adopt the like most refined and intense version of themselves, and it like is so serious that it becomes like this reflection of how not serious everything is. Like Johnny Cash being the man in black is like, the world is so gigantic. The like minutia of the insanity that is occurring on this planet is fucking crazy. But that dude is like, my world is me wearing my little black shirt. And, you know what I mean? And I'm singing about the fucking railroad. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's such a like, it's a very. That's just like what I love about music is like, it's such a relief. Like you can go into that world for a little bit and like, yeah, it's just there's a lot of joy in that.
Do you think you would ever do another project, like an alter ego project?
That's kind of what this EP
really
is. It's like it's not like a full out like character, but it's like very influenced by. I like grew up between Tennessee and Florida, and so it's very influenced by the like, the typical capital F Florida man. Like,
You're born in Jacksonville?
Close to Jacksonville. It's Amelia Island. It's like this tiny little island between. It's on the Florida-Georgia line.
Hey now.
Yeah, speaking of goofy.
Wow, I didn't know you were born on an island.
My mom moved there when I was in elementary school.
Wow.
So my like stepdad is from there. So he like it was a big like moving back home. There's like 10,000 people on this island. Like it's like the Goonies. Like I would go there in the summer and like ride my little bike around and like smoke weed out of a Sprite can and like,
You were
go to the
smoking
beach.
weed at that age?
Yeah.
Damn.
No, that's not true.
I was like, damn, you were cool.
I was 13 the first time.
Yeah.
We the first time I smoked weed was there. It was on the island. I knew these twins named the Snyders. Ben and Zach, shout out.
Shout out Schneider twins.
They're the shit. I think I'm gonna see them. They're gonna come. We're playing in Orlando. I think I'm gonna see them soon. But they had an older brother who like bought us a bong and they hid it in their closet behind this big stuffed animal of Sully from Monsters Inc. So I have like a fantastic memory of just like hitting this bong and then like looking over and like seeing Sully like unblinkingly just like.
I was gonna say nothing like getting high in a closet with a giant monster. That's exactly
undeniably, yeah.
That's how you want to do it. That's so funny.
Undeniably, yeah. And then like their parents were there or something, and I like, oh my god, I like fell asleep in their bathroom. I like went to go and I like laid down on the floor. I can't believe that I didn't remember the story until now. I was laying on the floor, and then their mom came in and started shrieking because she was like, "Who the fuck is this kid?" Like, because I was like I would like go in the summer, so I would just like show up, and I was like the summer friend to everybody,
Yeah.
and I was just like on their floor, and she's like, "Ben, what the hell?" Like I'm like in like a full like Fear and Loathing Las Vegas like Hawaiian shirt, like no pants, like sprawled out on their ground with like a McDonald's hot cake in my hand, like yeah, wow, this is really fun to talk about.
Completely obsessed. I love that.
Yeah,
I hope that I have kids someday and that they do insane weird shit like that. Like I do want to come home to some madness.
Oh, absolutely.
I want to be the straight man to their goofy little bullshit.
Absolutely.
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's a very important dynamic.
I want that.
That's like the greatest joy.
Because if they're not going to do it, I'm going to have to be goofy dad, and I don't want to be goofy dad.
You'd be good goofy dad.
I would, but it's like I'm goofy at work.
I
want to be
home.
buttoned up at home. I want to be Mr. Serious. I want to be like, guys.
Boys.
Do you want kids?
Yeah, I do.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of little siblings on my dad's side. They're all like half siblings, and so I just like grew up around babies, and it's so much fun.
I love kids.
So much fun. Yeah, me too. I feel like there was a point this year where I like genuinely thought I wasn't going to do music anymore, and was like really asking what I wanted to do, and like preschool teacher, that's like it. I feel like
so good at that.
I have so much peace like within me now, knowing that like whatever happens with like my dreams, I can like, I don't know, that's something that like would genuinely fulfill me so much, like just being around kids.
Yeah. The only downside if you stop doing music though is that I'm gonna kill myself. Why would you stop doing music?
The stakes are high. I would never stop doing music, but like,
no, where did that feel? Because I will say, not to cut you off, but to tell you where the question is coming from. Obviously, I'm a fan. I would hate to hear that. But I do the same thing all the time where I tell myself, like, hey, we don't have to do this forever. I can go do something else.
Yeah.
What is inspiring you to even think about that?
This year particularly, just like a really hard tour. Like we were on the road. It's just so easy. Like I don't know if touring makes you feel this way, but it's just really easy to stop being able to see beyond like the day that you're in when you're on the road for fucking 2 months. Like you're on show like 37, and your brain, just like as a survival tactic, is like, okay, this is your life now. It's really easy to just get so sucked into that bubble and like not be able to, I don't know, I just like have these like flashes of me being like 45 with like chronic back pain, like trying to do what we're doing right now, and it like freaks me the fuck out. But then I come home for 2 weeks and like I'm like, oh my god, I would give anything to go back out and do that again. But yeah,
I've never loved a show until it was over. I've only loved a show that I did back in the. I've only
Yeah.
ever loved a show that happened a while ago.
But you have fun when you're performing, right? Like,
I have here's my trajectory with shows. First of all, touring as a comedian is so much easier and better than what y'all are doing.
we did have the sound check conversation.
I have to say, the sound check, the fact that y'all show up to a venue 7 hours before, that alone could make me jump off a building.
Yeah.
Y'all are really
Horrendous.
at the venue. Your job is really so much harder. And I will get to a venue. I've gotten to a venue when the show was supposed to start because I just walk up there. Or you
Right.
really can come later. The opener's already up there. I mean, not me because I host, but like your guys' touring is so much harder. And then the amount of people you have to pay. When I went on tour with Annie DeRusso and I did that like 7-city tour just for fun.
the coolest tour.
Which was so fun and cool, and I'm really glad we did it. It was such an experiment, and like it really was so much fun to do like a co-headlining tour, a band, and a comedian. It was tough and interesting and weird, but it was great. But when Annie was like, yeah, a lot of musicians just like merch is where they make the money. Ticket sales are kind of a wash. I was like, ticket sales are a wash? Hell no. I was
Dude.
like, what?
No, 100%. Like,
I can't believe it.
you were like, yeah, you're always, I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. It's just designed to be.
It's crazy.
Chaos, yeah.
And the 20% of the merch from the venues too. I'm like, comedy venues don't do that.
Fuck that.
Don't
Yeah.
touch our merch.
It is crazy to me. That is like, there's some really amazing interviews online with like, there's this one journalist, I like have to find him and share that shit again, but he like specifically has that conversation with just like reps at venues and like a face-to-face interaction where he's just like, can you explain like genuinely, like, can you justify why you guys are taking this percentage of merchandise that like you have nothing to do with, especially like at shows where the bar sales are great and ticket sales are great, like seeing a person have to like verbally explain how that makes any sense, like not a single person can do it.
Keeping in mind, all of these people know that we pay our managers 10%, our agents 10%, our lawyers a percentage,
Right.
our publicists a percentage, our fucking business managers a percentage.
Yeah.
You're going to take 20% of our merch. I have been saying for a long time, and I will stand 10 toes down against any venue in the country about this.
Yeah.
If you want to take 20% of merch, I get 20% of the bar sales. And if you don't want to do that, it's because you inherently know that that's crazy, and then you shouldn't be taking anything out of my merch.
100%.
It's fucking nuts.
100%. Yeah.
That is so crazy. But my trajectory with shows is
Got me
this.
pumped
Every
up.
show I have felt this way. I dread it every single second from the moment it gets announced until the moment it happens. I dread every show I've ever had to do.
Right.
I don't want to do it. My body physically rejects the idea of it.
What is are you dreading your experience or like what are you dreading?
I dread having to go. I
Just
can't believe
being
I have to show up at that place. I can't believe I've given myself a place I have to be.
Right.
I would dread. The thing about me is I said this once on the podcast and someone told me there's a term for it. Apparently I'm mentally ill, but then it was like, no, someone was like, oh, my therapist told me that this is called like, it's like, I don't know. Like they said I was fucked up, but I dread everything that's on my calendar. It doesn't, if someone put on my calendar 3 weeks from now, you have to go to a free blowjobs and money convention where they're just gonna like blow you and give you $1 million, but you have to come at 3 p.m.
Right.
I would be like, I don't think I can make it.
Right.
Like I can't go to that.
I would
Like,
be sobbing the entire way.
I hate
Yeah.
having an obligation, but I'm so great. And by the way, I'm grateful for it. I love it. I prepare for it. I take it very seriously. I have a very, very serious sense of responsibility about what it means to get on stage in front of people.
Yeah.
I think if you disrespect that, I think if you don't prepare for your show, if you get on stage too drunk or high to put on a good show,
Yeah.
I sincerely really do not fucking like you.
Yeah, it's
I
a
think
bummer.
I think that's something a bad person would do.
Sure.
I don't know if they're bad people or not, but it's not nice and it's not respectful or responsible.
Yeah.
I really respect my audiences genuinely and like appreciate that they gave up a night of their life to be in a room with me.
Yeah.
And I love the time I'm on stage. From the second I start talking on stage to the second it ends, I have an amazing time, even if it's going badly.
Right.
I think there's a thrill involved in knowing that I can get it back. I just have to work at it. I love that part.
Yeah.
And then the second I'm off stage, for at least a little while, I go, you fucking fool, you idiot. Why did you do that? Why did you put yourself out there like
Really?
that?
Oh my God.
And
Yeah.
then later on, maybe like a day or a week later, I go, you're the king of being up there. You're the best at doing that. You
Hell
should do that
yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
That was amazing what you did.
100%.
That's crazy.
Isn't okay. Now do that. That is fucking insane. That mental roller coaster is like your job.
Yeah.
Like that is so wild. What a wild thing to do routinely. Like, that is crazy.
It's the hardest job in the world. No one has it
Uniquely
worse.
difficult.
No one has it worse.
Agreed.
No one has it worse. Coal miners couldn't do what I do.
No, not for let's see a coal miner do a Type 5.
Yeah,
is what
okay.
I'm saying.
Best of luck, buddy.
Knock 'em dead, pal.
Yeah, try doing a callback 45 minutes into your hour, pal. I'll take whatever's going on with your lungs over my job any day. Sorry. Obviously, we'll keep it in, but I don't. That's not.
Obviously.
That's not. That's not.
What a crazy community to attack.
Yeah,
The
coal miners. Yeah,
community.
no, I really, to me, that's funny because my job is so silly.
Of course.
I really respect the coal
no,
miners, and
I
I
feel
love
the
what they're
same
doing
way.
to the world. And I want those West Virginia electoral college votes when I run. So I love what y'all are doing to the environment.
To the world.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. It is like so. I think the toughest part, and like maybe I romanticize it because I'm like grass is always greener kind of thing, but like the music world is small and there are elements of it that feel really tight knit, but like the isolation. Like there are times where, like I was saying earlier, that you get a tough call from a manager, get a tough call from the label or whatever, and I'm like, I don't even know who I can talk to about this. Like, even though I feel like the people I play music with, the people in our crew are like my family, it's like such a specifically intense position when you're like fronting a project or like, you know, not to fucking, I don't know. I'm not saying that it's like, it was what I'm saying making sense. I'm not trying to be like, it's really hard and no one understands, but like, it's just tough to like try to have conversations about a really specific personal experience with like folks who like, no matter how well intentioned they are, like maybe have not experienced that thing. Like, and that goes to anyone in any position in the creative world. Like, you know what I mean?
There's also to me some shame,
Yeah.
because it's like there's some shame if I'm having a bad day or I've gotten bad news or things aren't going my way specifically in the career sphere. I don't know who to talk to because my friends who aren't having a bad time, my friends who are up, I know they're only winning, they're on a huge project right now, they're feeling great, they're making a lot of money, whatever. I don't want to talk to them about it because I don't want to bother them, they're busy.
Exactly.
Number one, and number two, it's only going to embarrass me more. Anything they say is going to feel like, well, easy for you to say, you're fucking up right now. You're on top, you're winning, so of course you have like, you're going to be like, oh, just stick in there, fuck you, it's going well for you. And then if I talk to someone who is maybe like doing a little worse than I am right now, like they don't have as much going on as I do or something like that. Like a buddy who I know is like, oh, they haven't gotten a gig in a while, or they've recently told me that they were dealing with this, that, or the other. Well, that feels mean.
Sure.
It's like I'm going to go and complain about my little thing to somebody who I'm like, you would kill to be having the annoying call that I just had or whatever.
Yeah.
It never feels like you're exactly in lockstep with the people that you would normally confide in.
Sure.
And so it just starts to feel a little lonely. Like, oh, who do I even...
Especially with like so much of your communication with those people, like when you're just really busy, like it's through the internet, like catching up with people in person like becomes like this rare like foreign experience. And like, yeah, I really am trying as I go forward to like just like go so old school. Like I think I'm gonna like delete all my social media shit before this next tour and like try to just go full like Grateful Dead style. Like I just want to be like on the bus with my friends, having fun, like seeing my friends in cities that I don't get to see a lot, like just being present. Like that's why honestly Lala was like so amazing for that reason. Like I felt like these kids were just like so present. And like honestly I think it may have had to do with the heat. Like people were just kind of like like they couldn't even move to like get their fucking phones out of their pocket. But like I don't know.
They were having a heat
like,
stroke, yeah.
they were
You're
paralyzed.
like, they're present. There's nothing going on behind their eyes.
They're
sweating. They're falling down.
They're being like airlifted out of the thing. Like they're so relaxed.
You're like they're dizzy. They're walking in circles. They're falling to their knees.
They're chanting. They're yelling. They're screaming.
Their skin is warm to the touch. They're red.
Yeah, they're very pale.
I don't think they're offline, brother. I think they're really sick.
Those people are passing away.
They're throwing up.
In front of you.
On their back. No one's turning them over.
They have every symptom.
I will say, when you said just now, I think before the next tour I'm going to delete all my socials, I was like, I'm starting to understand the call from the manager. You know what I mean? Like I'm going, hey, I'm going, hey, me and the manager might need to get on a call as well.
Yep.
Because I don't know if we can have that. I totally feel the exact same way.
Yeah, it's so hard. Like, it's so tough. It's so confusing. It's really, really confusing.
It's also a really interesting balance between, I've talked to several friends about this, specifically with like things that feel like selling out, where it's like, I grew up with so little money and so many people in my family. If I don't want to post a TikTok talking about this shoe company for $50,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
That's not cool. And I'm a cool guy.
Yeah.
If I told my grandfather, who like can't walk upright because he worked on the railroad his entire life,
Dude.
if I told him that, he would shoot me with a gun until I died.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
No, I know.
Like he would not care about how cool I feel doing it.
Yeah.
He would be like, dude, shut the fuck up.
I said the same shit. I just like did this like private event a couple weeks ago, and like same vibe where I was just like, it doesn't really feel like it's aligning with my current brand. I was like, my fucking uncle would punt me like a football.
Yeah,
like,
and
through a
it's
goal.
correct.
Like, and yeah, 100%. Which like, there's a balance there. I think that like, it is a weird conversation of like, sometimes you do have to preserve your sanity and like not do the weird like birthday party thing, but then sometimes it's like, well, I am like working, like this is like a thing I gotta work for, and like those opportunities I'm trying now to like turn them into really good times to practice the shit I was talking about earlier, like go do the private event but do it as if I was like mentally, I don't know, just like 14-year-old me again. Just like go have a blast and like fuck up and make a fool of myself and like learn from that shit. I did that private event and I forgot the words to one of the songs, and I literally was like, I could already tell like people did not want me to be there kind of event.
Really?
It was like not in like a negative way, but they were just like, who the fuck is this long-haired hippie boy that's preaching to us right now? But I forgot some of the words to the song, and I, in front of all these people, was like, you know what? I'm going to make sure that I never make this mistake again. So right now, in front of you all, I'm going to take my phone out, and I'm going to Google the lyrics to my own fucking song. And like, crickets, dude. Like, not a single reaction to that. And I stood there, and using Siri, I said, Siri, genius lyrics, Briston Maroney, small talk. It's one of my older tunes.
Yeah.
And I looked up the lyrics, and I read them out loud, and then I played the song.
You know what? I would have loved to see that.
I miss my truck. I sold my... Wow. Do you hear how I just said
I miss
truck?
my truck.
Fuck.
Yeah, I saw it come out.
Woo. Full body truck.
That was beautiful.
I really do miss... I had a truck in Nashville
What kind?
before. It was a tiny little GMC.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very small.
Exactly.
Really fucking cute. And I
want
miss
to
it.
thank you for that.
It was my pleasure. It had a cigarette lighter in it.
Of course.
It was like a 2000.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yep. How it should be.
I ask people on this podcast a lot, what do you want? And I want to know that from you. Where's all this headed? What is all this? What do you want? A Grammy?
Honestly, that would be cool. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say no if they invited me to come hang out for the evening.
Would be cool if you did.
Would be cool if you did.
Yeah.
I honestly, oh my God, this is gonna be so like,
good.
Is he doing this? But like what we're doing right now is what I want. I just like the fact that we're hanging out and like I'm getting to have a conversation with someone that I admire and look up to and have for a long time, and like just to even get to be in the realm of all these other creative people that I just like really genuinely love, like that's all I could ask for. Like the fact that I can pay my bills and like be present in my life and have the fucking luxury to like, I don't know, talk about things and feel all the feelings that I want to feel, like that's all I could ask for, dude. Like I genuinely could not, and do not want anything beyond that. Like
It is the best part.
it's awesome.
I just talked about this on Devin Walker's episode. I was like, you know, if the only thing that ever comes from all of this really in the long run is that I get to meet like a bunch of cool creative people who are like, in my opinion, like the most brilliant artists alive right now. Like my cohort of like the people I'm friends with, like everyone we've talked about, like you and Annie and Samia and all the comics that I'm friends with, and Devin, of course, included. If the only thing that happens from all this is I get to meet and be friends with a bunch of brilliant people that are trying to make art,
Right.
and succeeding, that's cool. That's good with me. I would like that.
Oh, 100%.
That's a pretty nice thing.
It just feels like, yeah, I mean, it's like you said earlier, like talking about spending money to move and shit. Like, you can't, I don't know, like this stuff, our lives are just like a blink of an eye. Like we are truly like here and then we're gone. And it's like, at the end of the day, I'm obsessed with this like article that's like it's very like Facebooky, but like just like some dude was interviewed on his deathbed. He was like 98 or something, and people just like were asking him what he wished he had done differently, and he just straight up was like, I wish I'd eaten more ice cream, man.
King.
And like, you know that's getting a lot of like thumbs up on Facebook, that kind of vibe, but I genuinely like, I love that shit. Like, it's just like, yeah, like there will be a moment where all of the pressure and all of the constructs that we have like placed on ourselves as creative people completely fucking vanish, and that day is inevitable for every person who does this thing. And like, I just want to, when that day comes for me, I want to like be able to look back and smile about the fucking great times I had with my friends. Like, truly, that is what I care about.
My favorite is that, people are so obsessed with living longer and extending life, even if it's a not quality life.
Not me, dude.
People are obsessed with extending life. They want to live as long as they can. And so they always like to find a really old person and ask them, like, what's the secret?
Yeah.
And my favorite is every fucking time, without fail, if you ask someone who's like 106, what's the secret? They will give an answer that is so disgusting.
Oh, my God.
Like, every single time they will be like, every hour, on the hour, since I was 11 years old, I have eaten a cigarette. And
it's so fucking true.
And I only drink Mountain Dew.
It's true.
And I have never taken a shit. And literally people will be like, wow, really? That's the secret? And they're like, yeah, that's what I've done.
Yeah. Are we done
It's never
here?
something profound.
No.
It's never like, I ran a mile never. Never.
I did some heinous shit.
Yeah, I lived a truly fucked up life. I didn't
Yeah.
want to make it this far.
Right.
Every day I pray God will take me.
You just won't.
I wasn't some like sociopath yuppie
Right.
who only drank spinach drinks every morning.
Fuck no, dude, no.
Those
Yucky.
people flame out from skin cancer at 63.
It's so real.
Only a psycho living in the Appalachian Mountains who like truly eats a steak for every meal can make it to 102. And God love them. They really they do. I don't know what to tell you guys.
I'm sweating. Sweat is pouring down
The
my
people
head,
who are
dude.
obsessed with living, they never do.
It's true. It's so real.
I think I'm going to live to be 200.
Fuck yeah.
That's my prediction.
A boy can
Watch me
dream.
die next week. We put out this episode and I immediately die. No, that'd be horrible.
In memoriam.
We would all hate that. Say in the comments, we would all hate that.
We would all hate that. I do.
Everybody in the comments say that we would hate if I died young. That's every episode I start asking people, would y'all just please in the comments say that you would hate if I died young?
I feel like tired. Like that, just like
You know what's funny? I get so sweaty in here, but the AC is on. I always say this every episode. I'm dripping in sweat.
it's a good sweat.
It's a good sweat.
It's a really, really like
It's because I'm hard at work.
fucking awesome sweat. Yeah. It's
I'm
'cause
the
you
hardest
care.
working man in America right now.
Damn right.
Damn right, me and you.
Damn right.
Two hardworking guys clocked into the factory right
That's
now.
what I'm saying.
The Laugh Factory. Well, that's a real. Yeah, that's a real
Shit.
place.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this isn't the
damn.
Laugh Factory. There's not a 30-year-old guy with a 17-year-old girlfriend in here.
Sure. Shout out. Tag him.
Hey, get him, tag him. Would take not enough room in the comments to tag him.
That's what I'm saying.
You know. Well, I ask everyone on the show, what is so true to you, Briston? What's
is
so true to you?
What is so true to me? I feel like I've said so true, like not even knowing that I've said that so many times on this episode. And I
You
really
know,
am
it's
stoked
kind of
about that.
catching on.
Yeah,
I will
it's
say.
a fucking great phrase.
Thank
Did you?
you.
Was it easy for you to name this podcast? Where you like, I know exactly what I want to call it?
No, I knew that I kind of wanted it to be a gay little phrase.
Cool.
Like I did. Like I actually have somewhere. I wonder if I can find it. I actually have somewhere like a list of titles that I was thinking of for the podcast, and that would be kind of fun.
That would be fun.
I'll try to find it later. We'll probably do it on the Patreon. Check out the Patreon if you want to hear that list of names. But no, I was like, I want it to be a gay little phrase of some sort. Like I want it to be something that would just kind of roll off the tongue.
It's so good. It's
Yeah.
like such a great name.
Thank you. I didn't want it to be like the Caleb Hearon show.
Sure.
That felt a little too like,
Sure.
yeah.
No, I feel you. What is so true to me? It's crazy how much my internal voice is going, say good vibes. There's like a man in my head who is like on fire, screaming that, say good vibes, bro.
Say good vibes.
It. It's what you love good vibes.
Yeah.
What is so true to me? I'm going to try to find a better way to say good vibes.
What does good vibes mean to you? Good vibes are so true, but in what
I don't
way?
know. I do not like this hole that I've dug. What is true to me? What's so true to me? Having a good day. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I believe in nothing, I guess.
But the truth of the matter is the listeners don't know you.
That's true.
Like personally, probably a lot of them.
No.
But good vibes and having a good day is so true to you. That's
It's
extremely
true.
Briston coded.
Unfortunately, I've probably said stuff that's more like hopefully more profound than that within this episode. So I'm gonna leave that there if you want to check that out. But my answer to this will be having a good day and good vibes. Yeah.
What's your favorite day? What's a good day to you?
I'm a classic Saturday boy.
You're a Saturday boy.
I fucking love Saturday. Yeah, because you're fresh off a Friday where you had some fun. Sunday is like the Sabbath.
Well, Sunday's for worshiping our Lord. You go really Christian.
Sunday, well, we all know what we do on Sunday.
Sunday we worship the Lord.
Sunday we work. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah, I like Saturday a lot. I feel like in the past 5 minutes, my brain just shut off. I just
went somewhere
got
else.
really stoked. Like when you were saying all this stuff about people living a long time, it just made me laugh so much. And then I kind of forgot that I was like on a podcast.
Yeah.
I was just watching you, and then now
Well, you got blissed out on the idea that you and I might live forever.
Yes,
And
I
the
do.
magic we created here today might even live longer than us.
I like that concept a lot.
Yeah, you got blissed out on that.
Yes,
That can be really blissful.
indeed. I
My
like bliss.
podcast will live long after me.
Isn't that wild?
My podcast, for better or for worse,
Could
my
you
podcast is going to outlive me.
maybe the next? Because remember they sent the like gold record to space or whatever.
Boy, do I ever.
Have you talked about?
I had a whole podcast about that.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I did.
Wait, what?
Keeping Records. It was back in the day, but Shelby Wolstein and I had a podcast called Keeping Records where we only talked about the golden records that NASA sent into space.
Are you kidding me?
No,
Oh my
I
god, that's
became
amazing.
obsessed with them.
I can't believe I have not ever talked about that. That's
I read
crazy
books
that
about
came
it. I became obsessed with the golden records for a while.
up. Wow, is that something you would like want to do? Like, would you want to like have a record with one of your episodes on it and blast it off into?
I wouldn't do that to the aliens. I wouldn't send them a gay podcast. I probably wouldn't allow a gay guy to talk on there.
Sure.
I would allow a gay guy to paint or sing or something. I would never allow a gay guy to speak
Oh,
to
of
the
course.
aliens.
No.
Lest they think that everyone down here is like that.
Yeah, we don't want them to
We
get
don't want
the
that
wrong
to
idea.
Get the wrong idea.
Yeah.
I would probably be the only gay guy I trust to talk to the aliens.
Sure.
And actually maybe the only human in general. I do think me and the aliens, if we could get in a room together, I think we could figure some stuff out quickly.
Sure.
I do trust my ability to interface with them.
100%.
I think they would like me. I think they would see me as real. I think the aliens would understand that I am a man of the people.
I love that in your alien world they value like real respects real. they
value realness.
They have like the most complex technology like in all of history, but they're like, we just fuck with the dude who's like himself.
Yeah. They're like, no, this dude's like fucking down to earth.
Yeah, that dude's chill as hell.
He's cool as fuck. He has like humble Midwestern roots.
He's cool.
They
Yeah, I
like
fuck
that
with
about
him.
me.
He has really good music taste.
I legitimately think if I was in a room with the aliens and they were like, we want to destroy humanity, I'd be like, they're not even fucking worth it, dog. Like, focus on you. Like,
You don't want to do
get
that.
your own stuff together. Like, focus on what y'all have going on.
Yeah, bliss
Like,
out.
We can hang out, but like, don't even like destroying them would like literally make you. It would bring you down to their level
You're better than that.
about humans. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'd be like, take me with y'all.
I hope that conversation gets to go down.
Yeah.
I really hope that there's a day where that conversation is had.
And straight up, you know how most people who get abducted by aliens come back and like tell everyone about it and rat out the aliens?
Sure. Nah.
I wouldn't tell anybody.
You are not a snitch.
Yeah, if they were like, what happened up there? I'd be like, there was no up there. I never saw an alien. And then I'd like look at the sky and wink, and the aliens would be like smiling at me, and
Yeah.
they'd be like, he fucking kept his word.
Yeah, dude. They just go,
Yeah. Fuck. I'm going to start crying.
that's okay.
I really want the aliens to love and respect me.
They will.
I don't believe in them.
It's
but
a matter of time.
I hope they're real.
I 100% am so into it.
You think they're out there?
Yeah. I'm like, we don't have to I don't have to talk about that,
No.
but
No, expose your
I do
beliefs.
like it. I'm like, it's just so fun to me, dude. That's such a fun option. Like, of all the ways that like we will inevitably crumble, like I really dig the concept of like there being an intergalactic battle kind of situation.
I do think we would lose so bad
Oh, it wouldn't last long
because we're not good at coming together.
No, we're not. And yeah, that's one of our greatest weaknesses.
Do you know that song "Earth Is Ghetto"?
No.
It was like wasn't that a big TikTok song? Do y'all know that one? It's like a young girl and she's like, "Earth is ghetto, I wanna leave." And she's like asking the aliens to come and pick her up. Do you know? Okay. We have to listen to it later.
Yeah.
But it's actually we can, well no we're gonna have to cut it anyway because of we have to make money on this show. We can't just put in music wherever we want.
Sure.
Aaliyah Sheffield, Earth is Ghetto. I love that song. Aaliyah, if you're watching, I love your song.
I'll listen on the way home.
I'm going to play it in this room the second this episode ends.
Fantastic.
I asked you what's so true to you, and now I have a segment for you.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm going to read you 15 statements.
Okay.
And you're going to tell me as quickly as you can if you think they're true or false. If you get 10 or more correct, Briston, I'm going to give you $50.
Like cash, cold hard?
Yes, cold hard cash. Nutella was invented during World War II.
True.
Winston Churchill's mother was born in Ireland.
False.
False, the United States. Fergie of the Black Eyed Peas voiced Charlie Brown's sister Sally.
False.
True. Fuck. Mike Vrabel is the current head coach of the Tennessee Titans.
False.
False. It's Brian Callahan. Mm-hmm. The Arctic Ocean is the smallest ocean in the world.
I saw him at a kava one time. Side note. Can you say that one again?
Mike Vrabel?
Yeah.
The Arctic Ocean is the smallest ocean in the world.
True.
ATM stands for Automated Teller Machine.
What was the first? You said automated?
Mm-hmm.
True.
Orca whales can speak fluent English.
False.
Mr. Potato Head's real name is Longshanks von Tuber.
As much as I hope that was true, I'm going to say false.
It's false. Captain Crunch's real name is Horatio Magellan Crunch.
False.
That's true. Guitars were invented in 15th century Spain.
False.
True.
What?
Johnny Cash was 6'2".
No.
True. Salt Lake City has never hosted the Winter Olympics.
True.
False. They did in 2002. Lipscomb University's mascot is Lou the Bison.
I went there for 1 year, and then I left there. Sorry. True.
Uber and Lyft were founded by two feuding brothers.
That's really cute and hopefully true.
False.
Fuck.
Twister was the first movie released on DVD in the United States.
False.
True.
I thought that like being confident would change.
That
I was
is an
trying to
approach
like
that people take.
sway you into lying.
People take the confidence approach, and people also will take the like litigating the math out loud approach, where they'll be like, "Well, Chevy is a car company, and then of course trees exist in the woods." So true, and it'll have
Like
nothing
God.
to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different approaches to that. You went on a pretty good run there, though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love that kind of shit.
Fun stuff.
I kind of love being wrong in those games. It it makes me feel like there's like hope to like learn more. I love I'm super bad at it. I'm super bad at a lot of things, but I like being bad at them because it's like, well, maybe tomorrow I'll be better at it.
See,
give me something to do.
Briston, there's this dreamy quality about you that's very
Thank you.
lovable, and it's the having a good day and good vibes being so true and doing really bad at trivia and walking away.
I'm just happy to be here.
Walking away positive that you have more to learn.
Oh,
this
so
is what
fun to
makes
play.
people fall in love with you.
Thank you. I'm trying to just be honest.
I'm so glad that you came on the podcast.
Thank you. This is like truly one of the best days I've had in a long time. This is
I
awesome.
literally
Thank
love you so much.
I love you too.
Thank you for being on.
Thanks for having me.
And
This
I
was
can't wait
awesome.
for your EP. I'm a huge fan of your music.
I'll send it to you.
Please do. And
It's
anyone who,
ridiculous.
if you haven't listened to Briston's music, which I would find surprising, go and listen to it. You can find Briston on the internet for a little bit longer, and then maybe never again
until my fall tour.
until the fall tour. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.